In this Go Byte, we're going to have a look at something pretty cool, and that is the defer keyword. And so what you can do in Go is you can use defer to make a function or to schedule a function to run later. And when it will run is when the enclosing function has completed. And so this is really useful because you can use it for like closing files, cleaning up resources, or just printing final messages such as process complete. And so in this one, what we're going to do is just going to have some examples of how defer works, and then you can have a little challenge yourself. Okay, so in this one I've worked ahead a little bit and wrote a little bit of code, but we're going to modify this shortly and add a defer in here. So first of all, what do we have? We're importing the format package, something we've done many times before, and then I've created a process function, and it's going to do two things. First of all, it's going to print starting work, and then it's going to print doing work. And then in my main function, all I'm doing is just processing that. So let's think about what should happen when we run this. We should see those two messages printed in order. So go run main.go, starting work, doing work. So far so good, very easy to understand. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a defer in here. So I will drop another print line in here. I'm going to say cleaning up, and so that should get called second now, shouldn't it? So it should be starting work, cleaning up, and then doing work. Quick test of that. Starting work, cleaning up, doing work. But what about if I want the cleanup to come at the end? So what I can do here is I can say defer, and then what this will happen is once this process function completes, I have deferred this to happen at the end of this process. So what we should see now is starting work, doing work. That is the last line in this function, and so it means this function has completed. And so what will happen is Go will check for any deferred functions, and it'll see that we have one because we registered this one here. And then cleaning up should now appear last. Let's go and prove this. Starting work, doing work, cleaning up. We deferred this function call to the very end. Okay, next we're going to have a look at how arguments are evaluated. So as you can see here, I've created a new function and we're declaring some variables inside of here. We're saying x equals 10, and then we are printing out this value. We're saying print line, and we are passing x in here, but then we are changing x to 20, printing out the value. So at this point x should be 20, but then this first one has been deferred. So it's important to know what value is going to be used here, because this is going to be called at the end. And at this point, we changed x to 20. So you might think then that we are going to print out 20, but actually this x is evaluated at the point where this function is deferred. So the value that this will hold will actually be 10, even though it gets printed out after this one, where the value of x was evaluated as 20. Okay, so let me prove that. So I'm just going to call demo. So let's think about what we expect to see. This has been deferred, but it was given x with a value of 10. So this one should be printed first, where x has a value of 20. So updated value will be printed first with 20, and then deferred value will be printed last with the value of 10, which was evaluated at the point that this function was deferred. Let's do this. Updated value is 20, deferred value is 10. Okay, now it's important to understand which order deferred function calls will run in when you are running more than one defer. So that's what we're going to demonstrate here. So first of all, we'll do this without a defer. So here we're doing a simple counting loop. So we're starting with I equals 1. And if I is less than or equal to 3, then we're going to increment it each time. So we should see 1, 2, 3. And then at the very end, we will see end of function. So pretty straightforward. Deferred 1, deferred 2, deferred 3. But that wasn't really deferred. So what we're going to do now is we are really going to defer it. I'll get a little warning here about using defer in a for loop. I'm just going to kill that for a moment. Let's not confuse ourselves. But let me explain what will happen and what will happen with the ordering now. Basically, if you defer several calls, they will run in last in, first out order. So, first of all, we should see end of function, and then we'll see deferred 3, and then deferred 2, and then deferred 1. Last in, first out. So let's go and check that. End of function, deferred 3, deferred 2, deferred 1. Because the third defer was last, then the second, then the first. Last in, first out. As long as you remember those words, last in, first out, you can't really go wrong with this. Okay, time for a challenge. Let's have a challenge which uses 2 defers. Here's what I'd like you to have a go at. Write a function, save report, that first of all prints saving report at the start, and then we'll print 2 deferred messages. So, defers 2 cleanup messages, closing resources, and then another defer, cleaning temporary data, and finally prints writing data. And then inside of main, simply call save report, confirm the messages run in the order that you expect. So before you run it, just have a think, what order do I expect to see these messages in? Pretty sure you can do this. Pause me now and give that a go. Okay, so I don't think you need to watch me type all this out. I've just dropped it in here. Let's just explain what's happening, then we'll call it, and then we'll talk about what we expect to see. So first of all, print line, saving report. And then we're using 2 different defers, so 2 separate defers. The first one, closing resources. The second one, cleaning temporary data. And then finally, writing data. That one is not deferred. So what order do we expect these to be called in? So first of all, we should see saving report. And then these 2 are both deferred. So next we expect to see writing data, but then what order do we expect to see these in? Well, remember what we said, last in, first out. So this one is the last in. So next we expect to see cleaning temporary data, and then finally we expect to see closing resources. So let's go and call this save report. So we expect to see saving report, then writing data, then cleaning temporary data, then closing resources. Let's see if that is correct. Okay, saving report, writing data, cleaning temporary data, closing resources. How did you get on with the challenge? Quite an enjoyable one, that one, I think, because dropping the stuff in there and then thinking about what order you expect to see it in. If you can do that and you correctly estimate what order. Okay, how did you get on with that one? Hope you gave it a go. I like these kind of challenges where you write the code and then you think about what you expect to see happen and what order you expect to see things happen, especially when it comes off the way you expect it. It shows that you're getting a really good understanding. So let's keep going. Give the video a like. Make sure you subscribed. What I'll say about defer and closing resources is it's something that we use in the Build Your First Go app for closing like database connections and stuff like that. And so you'll get to put it to use in a practical project by doing that course. I'll leave a link in the description as well as a link to the text version of this lesson. Let's move on.